Hi there and welcome back to my channel. This is Mark. I really appreciate your stopping by today. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about my financial New Year's resolutions, the goals I've got for the new year, and what I'm going to try to get done. I'm hoping that this will motivate you to go out and really work on your financial goals and really go for them, as well as maybe give you some ideas as to what you can do to make a better year for yourself than you had last year. I'm really pumped to bring this to you, so thanks again for joining me. First, if you could go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and as always, if you could help me out with that YouTube algorithm and smash that like button. So last year was a pretty good year for us financially. It wasn't great all around in other areas, but financially we did pretty well. So a lot of what's going to happen in the new year is just trying to continue that momentum. Although I'm going to change up a couple of different things. I've been doing some more reading up on personal finance. I've also been studying a little bit on the FIRE movement, so I'm going to do a video up on that. I wanted to get a little background there, so that sort of motivated me to change a little bit of what I'm doing as well. In terms of what is going to be the same, I've talked a little bit. I'm in the midst of two refinances on properties. One is a single family home. It's been a little bit of a problem child. I'd considered selling it. The rent's dropped a little bit. It hasn't been great. Originally, I had intended to fix it and sell it, but that didn't work out. It was a pretty good rental for 2 years, but then I changed property managers and the timing of the previous tenant moving out wasn't real good. So the next year is going to be a little bit of a challenge. However, if I can do this refinance, that will drop the rate down to about 3.75%. It'll drop it a full 2 percentage points. It'll drop it about $200 a month in terms of the payment, so that will really make a difference. At that point, if I can get that done, then this property will pretty much be set, and at that point I'll have to decide that I'm going to go ahead and keep it. I'm not going to sell it because I want to recoup the closing costs. And I can gradually raise the rent over time because it is a very nice, large, luxury house on a golf course. It's just the timing was poor in terms of the rent, but we'll raise that up little by little, year over year. And with the lower payment, I can afford to keep it and do that. The other property is the big apartment complex in my old hometown, and we've known that the refinance was coming. I originally thought we were just going to refinance with the current lender, and they'll be glad to do that, but it's not a great loan, not a great rate. So I've been looking at other possibilities, and there are definitely other opportunities now. The market's pretty liquid. The problem that we have is before we can even get started, we need to get to 90% occupied for at least 30 days and maybe 90. And when we had the new property manager took over, that was one of the things that we put forth to them. The problem again is they were taking over right heading into the fall and then the holidays, so it wasn't a great time for them. They've done a really good job in terms of holding down expenses, decent job in terms of filling vacancies. It's just the time of the year was not great. However, we just filled one this week, and so we're only one away from that 90% occupancy. And we've got another unit that is rent ready, and the property manager has 2 showings today. So cross your fingers, everybody. We might get to that magic 90% sometime this month. The other interesting thing about getting to the 90% is that in the past, when my partner had been working on this, our 1-bedroom units have been going like hotcakes. We never had any 1-bedrooms. But the 2 bedrooms were a lot more difficult to get rented. In fact, we actually looked at potentially taking a 2-bedroom and converting it into 2 1-bedrooms, but financially it just didn't make sense. The ironic thing now is that we've got 3 vacancies left. We need one of them to get rented, and they're all 1 bedrooms. So you wouldn't think it would be that big a problem, but the 1 bedrooms have been a little bit more challenging recently than they were a couple of years ago. Still, I think we can get this done. If not this month, then as we head into spring. So we should have time to let that 90-day clock run out at 90% occupancy and then move on to this refinance. That will save us about $2,000 a month and also let us purchase for cash outright a duplex that should gross about $2,000 a month. And since we have no mortgage at all, the only payments we'll have to worry about are property taxes twice a year and then our hazard insurance plus any repairs. But since we're going to be buying it relatively new, there shouldn't be a whole lot of repairs, so that will be a nice cash cow for us. The other thing that I've decided to do is to ramp up the savings. And a lot of this came out of my research into the FIRE movement, specifically the FI part, not the RE part. The financial independence part, not the retire early part. I'm not worrying about the second part. But financial independence is good, and I definitely can save more. So right at the end of the year, I immediately bumped up my 401k to another percentage point. So I'm putting in 7% now. It was 6. I can definitely do more than the 6. I can really do more than the 7. And that's something I'm thinking about because I'm expecting a couple of windfalls in the March time frame. And if those came through, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. Possibly invest it somewhere else, but I'm thinking right now probably just move my 401k up another 2 or 3 percentage points to 9 or 10%. The other thing that is allowing me to do this is that again, in my research for the FIRE movement, they're really big on savings and they're really big on frugality. Now, I believe that spending on things that you love is fine, and I really like dining out or now getting to go, but food that someone else makes and I bring home and eat. And that's a conscious decision for me, and I know that I'm going to do it, and I'm okay with that. I don't feel guilty about it. On the other hand, I know that I was a little bit overboard with that last year. We were just spending too much on takeout food. And so that's something that I've already decided and already started that I'm going to moderate. I can easily save $200, $300, $400 a month just by cutting that back a little bit in terms of the times of month that we do that, the number of times that we get takeout, and also the choices we make, that we don't have to go to really expensive places. We went to some places that probably were not worth the money. One more thing that I did to increase my cash flow right at the beginning of the year was I raised the rents on 5 of my rental properties. It was only $25 per month per property, so it won't be a huge dent in any of the tenants' budget. I got no resistance at all. But the thing is that it's $25 per month per property. That's $125 a month or $1,500 a year. So it's not nothing. And that will help me with my savings as well, because I'll be able to use that money to fund my 401k as well. So that's what I'm going to do for 2021. I hope that's given you some ideas and some motivation. If you're still with me on the video, I would appreciate it if you'd go ahead and engage with me. Leave me a question or a comment down below. I do read all comments, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.